learning perpendicular bisector theorem. We will do this activity. Draw a segment AB of convenient length. Label its midpoint as M. Draw a line L passing through the point M and perpendicular to segment AB. Did you notice that the line L is perpendicular bisector of segment AB? Now take a point P anywhere on line L. Compare the distance PA and PB with a divider. What did you find? You should have noticed that PA is equal to PB. This observation shows that any point on the perpendicular bisector of a segment is equidistant from its end points. Now with the help of a compass, take any two points like C and D which are equidistant from A and B. Did all such points lie on the line L? What did you notice from the observation? Any point equidistant from the end points of a segment lies on the perpendicular bisector of the segment. These two properties are two parts of the perpendicular bisector theorem. Now let us prove them. Perpendicular bisector theorem. Part 1. Every point on the perpendicular bisector of a segment is equidistant from the end points of the segment. Every point on the perpendicular bisector of a segment is equidistant from the end points of the segment. Look at figure 3.40. Given line L is the perpendicular bisector of segment AB at point M. Point P is any point on L. To prove PA is equal to PB. Construction. Draw segment AP and segment BP. Now take these two triangles, triangle PMA and triangle PMB, and prove that they are congruent. In triangle PMA and triangle PMB, segment PM is congruent to segment PM common side. Angle PMA is congruent to angle PMB because each is a right angle. Segment AM is congruent to segment BM is given. Now this angle PMA is the included angle between the sides PM and AM. Similarly, angle PMB is the included angle between the sides PM and BM. So we can use SAS test and prove that these two triangles are congruent. Therefore, triangle PMA is congruent to triangle PMB by SAS test. Now the corresponding sides of congruent triangles, we already taken segment PM and segment AM for triangle PMA. So what is left out? Segment PA is left out. Now segment PA will be congruent to segment PB, corresponding sides of congruent triangles. According to the correspondence of the vertices, you have to say P is corresponding to P, vertex A is corresponding to vertex B. So segment PA is congruent to segment PB by the reason you have to write CS, CT, corresponding sides of congruent triangles. When the segments are congruent, the lengths will be equal. So length of PA is equal to length of PB. Hence, every point on the perpendicular bisector of the segment is equidistant from the end points of the segment. So we have proved PA is equal to PB. That is, we have proved that every point on the perpendicular bisector of the segment is equidistant from the end points of the segment. Now coming to part 2 of perpendicular bisector theorem. Look at figure 3.41. Any point equidistant from the end points of a segment lies on the perpendicular bisector of the segment. You are given point P is any point equidistant from the end points of segment AB. Here you are given point P is any point equidistant from the end points of segment AB. That is, you are given PA is equal to PB. This is the converse of part 1. Point P is any point equidistant from the end of segment PB means you are given that, segment AB means you are given that PA is equal to PB. You have to prove point P is on the perpendicular bisector of segment AB. So you have to prove that segment PM is perpendicular to segment AB. So we are taking a point M of segment AB, that is a midpoint. Take midpoint M of segment AB and draw line PM. This is our construction. Now we get two triangles, triangle PAM and triangle PBM. Segment PA is congruent to segment PB, that is given. Segment PA is congruent to segment PB is given, so we have to show the markings here on the figure. Same markings to show that they are congruent. Now, segment AM is congruent to segment BM since M is the midpoint of segment AB. According to our construction, we are taking midpoint M of segment AB. So, M is the midpoint of segment AB. So, here I write the reason. M is the midpoint M is the midpoint of segment AB, right here. M is the midpoint of segment AB. The reason is M is the midpoint of segment AB. You write here M is the midpoint of segment AB. Now, segment PM is congruent to segment PM because common side. The reason is common side. So, the same segment PM has to be written here also. Segment PM is congruent to segment PM, common side. Therefore, triangle PAM is congruent to triangle PBM by SSS test. Segment PA, segment AM, segment PM are all three sides of this triangle PAM. So, SSS test. Here, segment PB, segment BM and segment PM are three sides of triangle PBM. So, we have by SSS test. You have to write by is test. Now, corresponding angles of congruent triangles. Because we want to prove PM is perpendicular to segment AB, that means we have to prove measure of angle PMA is equal to 90 degrees. Hence, we are going to consider this angle PMA and angle PMB. Okay, so corresponding angles of congruent triangles. Angle PMA is congruent to angle PMB, corresponding angles of congruent triangles. But you all know PMA plus PMB is equal to 180 degrees because they make linear pair of angles. So now here you will write angle PMB. Now, since PMB is equal to PMA, because we have proved here, angle PMA is congruent to angle PMB. That means if the angles are congruent, the measures are equal. Their measures are equal. So measure of angle PMB will be equal to measure of angle PMA. So here instead of measure of angle PMB, we can replace by measure of angle PMA. So you'll write here 1 PMA plus 1 PMA will be 2 PMA, that is equal to, here it is 180 degrees. Measure of angle PMA is equal to 180 degrees. Bring 2 to the other side of the equal to sign. So the number in the right hand side will be 180 degrees upon 2. That is otherwise 90 degrees. Therefore, measure of angle PMA is equal to 90 degrees. Look at the figure. Measure of angle PMA is 90 degrees. So segment PM will be perpendicular to segment AB. But we all know point M is the midpoint of segment AB because of our construction. Now consider this as equation 1 and the second one as equation 2. Segment PM is perpendicular to segment AB. Take it as equation 1. And point M is the midpoint of segment AB. Because of our construction, you are taking that statement as equation number 2. Now combine these two statements. So you'll get line PM is the perpendicular bisector of segment AB. From the first one you will get the word perpendicular. From the second equation you will get the word bisector. So combine it. You will get line PM is the perpendicular bisector of segment AB. So point P is on the perpendicular bisector of segment AB. Now coming to the next one. Angle bisector theorem. Every point on the bisector of an angle is equidistant from the sides of the angle. Every point on the bisector of an angle is equidistant from the sides of the angle. You are given ray QS is the bisector of angle PQR. You have to look at figure 3.42. Ray QS is the bisector of angle PQR. Point A is any point on ray QS. We have taken point A to be any point on ray QS. Segment AB is perpendicular to ray QP. Segment AB is perpendicular to ray QP. Segment AC is perpendicular to ray QR. We have to prove every point on the bisector of an angle is equidistant from the sides of the angle. Equidistant means segment AB is congruent to segment AC. We have to prove segment AB is congruent to segment AC. Now, one hint is given here. Write the proof using test of congruence of triangles. I'll explain the proof. You can write. You have to write the proof using test of congruence of triangles. What is given and what is to prove is already written. You can copy that, then write the proof. Now here we have two triangles in the figure. Triangle ABQ and triangle ACQ. So you can write, in triangle ABQ and triangle ACQ, in triangle ABQ and triangle ACQ, segment QA is congruent to segment QA. You can write the reason, common side. Angle ABQ is congruent to angle ACQ. You can write the reason, since each measures 90 degrees. Angle AQB is congruent to angle AQC. Since ray QA is a bisector of angle PQR. You have here ray QS is a bisector of angle PQR and Q hyphen A hyphen S. So A lies between Q and S. So we can write the same ray QS as ray QA also. So write the reason, since ray QA is the bisector of angle PQR. Therefore, triangle ABQ is congruent to triangle ACQ by SAA test of congruence. Here there is no included side and no included angles. So here side, angle test. SAA test. You are tried by SAA test. Triangle ABQ is congruent to triangle ACQ by SAA test. Therefore, segment AB is congruent to segment AC. CSCT, corresponding sides of congruent triangles. That is what you want to prove. It is over here. Segment AB is congruent to segment AC. Within brackets you have to write CSCT. That is corresponding sides of congruent triangles. Hence we prove that every point on the bisector of an angle is equidistant from the sides of the angle. At last you have to write this statement. Hence we prove that every point on the bisector of an angle is equidistant from the sides of the angle. Now, coming to part 2 of angle bisector theorem. This is actually the converse of the previous statement. Any point equidistant from sides of an angle is on the bisector of the angle. Look at figure 3.43. A is a point in the interior of angle PQR. Segment AC is perpendicular to ray QR. Segment AB is perpendicular to ray QP. And AB is equal to AC. You are given the word equidistant. So, length of AB is equal to length of AC. That is given. You have to prove ray QA is the bisector of angle PQR. That is, you have to prove that angle BQA is congruent to angle CQA. Otherwise, measure of angle BQA is equal to measure of angle CQA. And one hint is given here. Write the proof using proper test of congruence of triangles. So coming to the proof, in triangle ABQ and triangle ACQ, you have two triangles. In triangle ABQ and triangle ACQ, measure of angle ABQ is equal to measure of angle ACQ is equal to 90 degrees. Within brackets you have to write given. Once again I am repeating. In triangle ABQ and triangle ACQ, measure of angle ABQ is equal to measure of angle ACQ is equal to 90 degrees. Within brackets you write given. Now on the next line you write hypotenuse AQ is congruent to hypotenuse AQ. Within brackets you write common side. The next line you write side AB is congruent to side AC. Within brackets given. Therefore, triangle ABQ is congruent to triangle ACQ by hypotenuse side test. Therefore, triangle ABQ is congruent to triangle ACQ by hypotenuse side test. In the next line you will write angle BQA is congruent to angle CQA. That is what we want to prove, no? Angle BQA is congruent to angle CQA. Within brackets, corresponding angles of congruent triangles. This you will write according to the correspondence of the vertices. Vertex B corresponds to vertex C, vertex Q corresponds to vertex Q, and vertex A corresponds to vertex A. So you have to write angle BQA is congruent to angle CQA. Within brackets you have to write CACT. Then the next line you write therefore AQA is the bisector of angle PQR. Therefore AQA is bisector of angle PQR. Hence we prove that any point equidistant from sides of an angle is on the bisector of the angle. At last you have to write the final statement. Any point equidistant, hence we prove that any point equidistant from sides of an angle is on the bisector of the angle. Now we have proved the part 1 and part 2 of angle bisector theorem. I suppose you might have understood. Part 1 is every point on the bisector of an angle is equidistant from the sides of the angle, and part 2 which we proved now is any point equidistant from sides of an angle is on the bisector of the angle. Hence we prove the angle bisector theorem. When you look at figure 3.42 and 3.43, you can see the markings over there. What is given only should be marked on the figure. What is to be proved should not be marked on the figure. That you have to keep in mind.